What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Cook here. Showing off what I did last weekend, June 30th for Omaha, at least to my knowledge, last regional of the season. I decided to get out and play some Yu-Gi-Oh on my day off. First and foremost, shout out to wnax TCG, my sponsor. Pretty good sponsor so far, taking me so far. I've learned so much with and continue to strive for. Great things along the way, great things still to come. Look forward. A lot of you guys see me around with these items on my deck boxes. If you wanted your own very own stickers, go to Pictures Cute Projects. That'll be in the description down below. Hit up that individual. And it's on Instagram, by the way. And see about getting yourself some nice little decals for your deck box. But here we are today, showing off our 40 card deck profile for this Tenpai deck. Surprise, surprise, I like dragons. First and foremost, we will start off with our starters in the form of the spells. The KAILYN, one of my favorite cards in the deck. Domain Expansion, Sangan Summoning, and then Terraforming, of course. And then the last time I will be showing off this lineup by itself because it will have some new additions. But the best one, second best one, third best one, that will change over time. Protection from battle, protection from card effect, and then summons from deck. Now, for all of you guys out there who do not know, are not aware, do not care to know, so on and so forth, this is a category 6 when it comes to like that redirecting, negating, nulling damage. Nightmare Pain is a category 3, and while like the one that's on the higher end of the category will be the one that happens first, it'll resolve backwards all the same. So Nightmare Pain will try and redirect the damage back to the opponent, and then Pydra will try to negate it. Will not try, it will just say no. So what that means is that what yugioh and Nightmare Pain share in common, this also shares somewhat the same property, but instead of dishing it back to your opponent, it just nullifies it altogether. So yeah, that's something to be on the lookout for in the WCQ season. It effectively makes it to where people think yugioh is like a really good matchup against this. It's more so like a 50-50. Most people say this deck thrives on its non-engine and having the right amount. I would say that statement is only true against yugioh, especially so coming with Fiendsmith and everything along the way. Non-engine, because that's it. We got 3 Ash, 3 Droll for the hand traps, like for the real monster hand traps. I was always going to Droll you. I was always going to Ash you. I'm telling you to go first. This card, like, for real, if it wasn't for the fact that I was telling you to go first all the time, this wouldn't be in my main deck. But with the new format on the horizon, in tandem with everybody, like, the more often you tell people to go first and the more secure they are going first, the more they will try their best to just shut you out the game. And ultimately, no matter what cards you play to get around like what they set up, if they just shut you out the game completely, then all of that was for nothing. And I don't care what you thought was going on. I don't care if Hit is in the game. I don't care if Princess in the game. I was always going to ask you, Bucko. You got to show me that you have it. Like, I'm sorry. Then, of course, 3 Fenrir. Not just for the defensive aspect and the offensive aspect, but he's also a body and a level 7, which comes up later on. Boop. 3 Prosperity. 1 Called By. 3 Droplet. I guess it's more so like, supplemental. Make sure you see cards, and the rest are all defensive cards. Droplet is going to be mandatory moving forward. Whether or not it will be in my main 40, post Infinite Forbidden, it will be in my 55. And I say 55 because you will never catch me playing above 40 and my life can depend on it. So with that being the case, this card's amazing. Call By Technique, the one of, I see this card way too often. I see all my one ofs way too often. That's the crazy part. Shout out to Buckingham for, letting me be able to play this, making sure I was able to style on people with a shiny duster all day. I drew it a lot. Definitely played the 1 Monster Reborn. I probably will cut it in the future Like, so for right now, it was just the extender that I needed because I don't necessarily have a way to, I don't know, add a dragon that special summons itself from the hand and makes itself a level 4 that, you know, E-Telly's one out the deck.
What's that?
You know, I could just bring it from the graveyard and continue playing that way. And in those aspects, it was good just to like link climb and against the mirror match, which I played one of, you know, it was cool to just snatch stuff. You know, the one that actually interacts with the opponent on the monster and the hand level. So like these are my 3 like big thrust targets. You know, take a monster, look at their hand. Rarely did I draw 2. When I did draw 2, I always got punished for it. And when I say punished, I mean like I wasn't rewarded greatly. So draw 2, I draw Ash and another card, right? Or I draw 2 starters and I've already played my whole turn. You know, so like if I ever searched this card, if I ever like used it, it was during the main phase to take, right? And then the monster reborn was just to make sure that like I could keep playing. If I didn't draw this card, this was just to blow out all the back row interactions, so I didn't have to worry about like a shifty imperm or whatnot. Thrust, because no matter what, like, you know, if you weren't giving me one of these to play with, by you activating any effect, you were letting me start. So I expect this card to like rise in popularity. If not just in Tenpai, I feel like in a lot of decks, mainly because you know, a lot of people are going to be activating monster effects. Power spells are real, and then you just wipe them out. And then 3 of one of the best trap cards ever printed, Valor, that doesn't set off the guys that I was just telling you about. 40 cards, very, very consistent, very good for me, and you know, I enjoyed it. I didn't really have too many hands where I bricked on it. And like the one hand that I had that was just all non-engine, I still won because the non-engine was sufficient. Extra deck. The 1 Striker, the 1 Derek, the 1 Hida, the 1 Spheres. And if you thought that my Link monsters were gonna end here, the 1 Princess, the 1 Raging, the 1 Zelantis. This is probably gonna these 7 are gonna remain the same. The links are probably gonna expand because the more that I use these guys, which this one was like in and out, I kind of use it so I could play around Yubel, but even versus my Yubel matchup that I lost, I never like saw myself ever summoning this. This guy I didn't want to summon anymore. This one just proved to be like the most useful when it came to like getting rid of things, because there were just matches where like I could go to the level 10 and like force you to play out your stuff and interact with nothing, or I can just activate Black Rose, force everything out, and because I know you don't have Ash in hand, you will lose to KAILYN. So these 2 will probably just not be in my deck in the future, just because like they were prosperity targets 99% of the time. Yes. And then the reason why we went down to 1 is because we played 2 of these in Princess. Also, this guy has a hidden effect for anybody who doesn't know. If your opponent happens to go into battle phase and he's on the board, this is why Yubel is on a 50-50 standing, you know. You can't leave battle phase because you have to attack if able. Really good, helped me win a lot of matches, even close to time when my opponent got to battle phase, tried to attack, and then realized he was playing against a deck that thrives in battle phase. In the future, I'll probably just be playing, you know, and of course I played the Trident. I didn't ask a friend. I had the money for it. It'll probably just be this 5. Like these are just, these 2 flex spots for whatever they needed to be, they were just not it. And they probably will be Link monsters, if not another Xyz, which I was playing in Xyz. And this is why we like cared about the fact that Fenrir was level 7. So, you know, kill through D barrier, set up if you go first. The niche interactions that go around it, you know, search a dude. Outside of these 5 blanks, could have been something else. You know, facilitates the whole thing. This guy facilitated 2 things. Number 1, he facilitated spot removal because he pops a card and another card on your opponent's field. So, you know, 2, 1 from yours, 1 from theirs. 9 times out of 10 popping him because he's a fire dragon. They can't really interact with it. And then from the graveyard, it brings itself back by banishing 2 fires or 2 dragons. So like, you know, any useless dragon that you're not using anymore, any useless dragon you're not using anymore, any useless fire you're not using anymore, like Ash, you know, stuff like that. And then like the thing that brings us all full circle is the fact that when he leaves the field after he brings himself back, he goes to the extra deck. So like you can use it again. I used it twice. Mostly was just like break some stuff and then go into seals, so that like if I don't just outright kill them, I have a way to play, which is like setting up seal or setting up princess, and then like having additional fire outlets in the extra deck that don't lock you into dragons help facilitate that real well. I usually don't show my side deck until it's a YCS, but I'm not playing nationals, and you know, the format's going to change so much that by the time I do step into a tournament, this won't be the same. So you guys get a little peek of what I do for regionals. We did 3DD Pro because Brandon was not walking. I'm sorry, it was just not going to resolve. To anybody who says Tenpai is free, you're probably playing Snake Eye. I'm probably taking your stuff. And 9 times out of 10, you can't do nothing about it. And I still will be taking your Caesar. I still will be taking your Beatrice. I still will be taking your Varudras. And I'll, you know, so on and so forth. Very good cards. Very, very good cards. This was mostly just to like get rid of skill drain and fountain. Right. The only reason why this actually stayed in my side deck for that weekend is because I thought I would see a Runic deck. I ended up playing around skill drain more than I could count, and I didn't even see this card. It could have been something else. For when people made me go first and I could use it, especially versus the mirror. Solid card. I decided to use this versus like combo S decks. I don't like it's too early for Eclipse. It's too early for Crossout is just like, it's not for this deck for real. This actually like facilitates not just breaking the board, but it's a fire to go into Hita. You know, tributes a couple monsters. It was decent for this event. Still kind of unclear about how I would use it moving forward. There were games where it was effective. There was games where like, yeah, I used it, but like I was winning anyway. So that was it. You know, this is my 55. It was a very good tournament experience. I went 7-1. Great time. Thank you.